Okay, so 之前我们的 rules is more towards generic form, and it's not really asking any of the equation part. Okay, with the equation of logarithm, 它会比较 headache 一点，原因很简单，它需要我们 consider，就是我们上次 cover 到的 condition，x is bigger than 0 and a is equals bigger than 0, given that this is in this form. And a cannot be 1. So, these are the conditions for solving. So let's have a look. 我们到底会遇到什么样的东西 For example, 我们这里同样的 they will give such an equation, 而我们的 aim is find what the x value is. Okay? So, let's have a look. 同样的，我看到这里有一个 power rule，刚好它的 power 它的 base 是一样的。So that means we will use the power rule to rearrange a bit. Now, please do note that the log here, 就是它这里的那个它的那个 square here, it's considering x plus 2 the entire thing of it. So that results into log 8 bracket 2x plus 19. 那有一些人他们会选择就是move both at one place，然后去做 division rule. Yeah, that works, but at the same time, 因为他们左边和右边都是 log 8, we can just make base 8 base. So as in 我的 step of working, 它就变成了这个样子。OK， 就是我只能把它们两个变成 power of， 然后就像我们上一次 recall 到的，就是上一个 lecture recall 到的那个 rule， 这两个 cancel out each other. So that results into here. Now, if you want, you can skip from here to here. Okay, it's up to you. Unless it's asking you to show that. 那可能就是要 more precise or thorough working. So that results into 我们这里的 rule and minus 2x plus 19 equals 0. So that is our So 这一个是我们的 final equation. So we have to solve for x 嘛，对不对？ So we just use the root form. It should be plus and x minus 3 equals 0. Now, normally 我们会直接写 x minus 5, x equals 3. That's true. But remember one thing. 我们的那个 rules in this condition, x must be bigger than 0. Okay, so we have to reject this one and accept this one. Okay, so this is the slight mistake that can become a turning point between C and a B or C and an A. 因为不够 precise, 它就不会给你分。Let's try again. So we've got this rule. Again, 我们会看到有 power form, 然后刚好两个 base 是一样的。So let's do power rule. And I'm going to change this to 2 to the power of 2, which is equal to 2. Okay, so if I use the division rule, 我可以得到的是 I mean, technically you don't have to do that, but you will realize it's 2 to the power of 2 equals to 2. And 因为 OK, 因为我们的这个 rule, 我们看到有 log 在 log to the base x. We want to try and make x not inside the log. So we can multiply that. We can just make the base log base to the power base from in the opposite side. So that becomes 我们的 2 square equals to x to the power of 2. So from here, 我们就已经可以得到 x is just equals to 2. Done. Now, 它还有另外一种解法。So 另外一种解法，它做的是 log x4 equals to 2。OK， 那有人就会讲啦 ，OK， 因为 x square is equals to 4。OK，so 我们会这样，就同样的也是 move 过来。But at the same time, x is equals to plus and minus 2。如果做这个 step，很多人会忘记，就是讲去 reject 它的这个 rule。OK，reject negative 2。OK，或者这里你也可以讲 reject negative 2 equals to x。Okay, so you have to be careful. Okay. So at the same time, 它也会给你一些 exponential 的问题。Usually in GCSE 它会给一个很 perfect 的 but this one it does not. And we now get to introduce something that's called just log itself. 然后 log 本身呢 it's basically the same as log 10. Okay, so let's have a look. 如果我看到这样子的 rule the x is at the power， 那我会做的东西是 log both sides。 Why is that？ 因为这样子我就可以把我的 x 搬下来。Okay, so if that's the case， 我可以去 divide。 Okay, well actually we can just expand. We can first expand 我们的这一个equation。 2x log 5 plus log 5 equals to log 7. So 2x log 5 equals to log 7 minus log 5. So 因为它们两个 okay, it's the same base, so we can just rewrite as 2 log 5 equals to log 7 over 5 like that. 然后因为我们想要 divide, or I can even rewrite this. Okay, I can even rewrite this as x bracket 2 log 5. So I can just divide everything by 2 log 5. Like that. So if it's in terms of three significant figure, 我们会得到的是 1.05. Because that's what the question is requesting you to do. So you can see I use the power rule to make the x, bring down the x, 我们就可以 solve for it. Okay, so let's try again. Again, 我们看到 power in x, so we have to use the power rule. So bring down. And I can expand this equals to x log 4 plus 5 log 4. Like that. So in that case, 我可以做的东西 is let's put all of the x's together. And you'll see why. 如果我把所有的 x 放在一起，我可以把它 factorize. Which the final answer is just 5 log 4 divided by 2 log 3 minus log 4. Like that. And calculator, that is the final answer for three significant figure. There is one mistake a lot of students will do here. 他们会做的东西是什么？他们会写的是 log 3 over log 4 times by 2. This thing is wrong. 你要做 division rule 可以。You have to make it as, you have to first make it as 它是没有 constant 在那一边的。 So that results into log 9 minus log 4, which is the same as log 9 over 4. Now, this one is correct, but it's optional, 因为这个其实要你去按进去 calculator 而已。Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. Anyways, so let's have a look. The next one. Again, it's more complicated, but in fact, there is a trick. 它反而给你那个 bracket 是帮助你的。So let's have a look. 我们看到，诶，这里是 2x 哦，这里是 x 哦。It's quite similar to quadratic form. It's just different format. So let's say let alpha equals to 3 to the power of x. So if that's the case, 2 alpha squared plus 7 alpha minus 15 equals to 0. 那这里我们可以 factorize 它。Oh, sorry. In this form. So hence, alpha is just equals to 3 over 2, or alpha is equals to negative 5. So given that we know alpha is equals to x to the power of 3, so 3x equals to 3 over 2, or 3x equals to negative 5. Like that. But which one do I have to reject? Okay, we have to reject 我们的这一个 case. Why is that? 因为我们 3 to the power of something, even if 它是有那个 x is negative, okay, even if 这一个是 negative, for example, x to the power of negative 1, it's always positive. So the range for 3 to the power of x equals to, it's always bigger than 0. It's never 0, but it's always bigger than 0. So hence, reject. Now we only focus on the left side. So we can use log rule. So I'm skipping a step. So that results into x equals to log 3 over 2 log 3. So hence, you should just get 0.369 in 3 significant figure. Alright. Now again, 这里其实就是一些 hints for you when solving it. Okay, it's always between. Yeah, you don't, I mean, to be honest, it's what we had introduced before. Okay, so, but we do have to solve inequality. So let's have a look. Solving this case in terms of base 10. So again, 它都给我们 hint now, or some sort of form. So we have to follow it. So log 10, 0.6, which can be rewritten as 0.6. And 因为我们的 power rule, 我们把它带下来. Okay, so that becomes 10. 然后 actually, you know what? Let's leave it like that. Let's leave it to 0.6. Okay, so this is 我们的 smaller than log 0.7. To make the x subject, okay, to make the x subject, it would be x, 然后就是我们的 log 0.7 divided by log 0.6. However, in this case, it's not really visible, but 我们会把它 flip around. Reason being is if we refer to here, 如果 any value that's lower than 1, it's all negative. Okay, so for example 0.1, 0.9 这样子全部都是 negative 来的. So dividing or multiplying a negative in inequality, it will flip the sign. So hence, you have to be careful of this case. 我们在这里就可以得到 x is bigger than log 0.7 divided by log 0.6. Let's try again. So we've got, 这个我反而会做多一个 step, 也就是 divide by 4. So everything That's one less thing to care. Log both sides, 我们会得到 2x minus 1, and then we've got log 3 bigger than 5/4 of the log. Okay, so if that's the case, expand it, log 3 minus log 3 bigger than log 5/4. Let's plus both sides. So it becomes x times log 3 bigger than log 5/4 plus log 3. That. So x is just bigger than log 5/4 plus log 3 over 2 log 3. Done. Okay, nothing to worry about. 因为我们的 log inside the log, it's all positive. 因为 it's all above 1. Now let's try with modulus. Okay, so that means it's always positive. Let's have a look. In this case, 我们要 make a sketch. Whenever you want to do anything with modulus, it's always good to sketch it out. Now, 我们在这里看到的是我们的一个modulus of the 4x minus 8. So usually it would look like that. Make sense? 如果是没有 modulus 的情况 ，OK， 然后我们这里是 starting from a negative 7 because originally for any exponential it's always 1 as starting point. But 因为 modulus 的关系，它这里 it's gonna reflect like that. So we are not considering this part, we are only considering like that. And this is in fact our support part. Just as in like, that's how we can know where it is. And 因为它是 negative 8 的关系，而且你有发现到它的这个 logarithm, it's always y is always bigger than 0. So again, 因为它也是 negative 8, so our asymptote at first, 如果没有 modulus 的情况，我们的 asymptote is here. That's y equals to negative 8. 可是因为 modulus 的关系，我们的 asymptote 变成了在这里。Now, this thing, it's equating to when y equals to 2. So we should be expecting two answers. One answer and two answers, and they are both positive. So let's have a look. One case is 4 to the power of x minus 8 equals to 2. 4 to the power of x equals to 10. So log of 4x equals to log of 10. So x equals to log of 10 over log of 4. Done. And they're asking for three significant figure, which is 1.66. Second case for modulus, it will be in sign flipping. So that results into 我们的 4 to the power of x equals to 6. Okay, so we've got log 4 equals to log 6, and then times x here. X is equals to log 6 over log 4 equals to 1.29. Here you go. Oopsie. Here you go. Right. Let's try another one. We've got 我们的 cases again. It looks like quadratic. So we have to make it as alpha equals to 3 to the power of x. Now, it will look something like it will look something like alpha squared minus 6 alpha minus 16 equals to 0. Okay, so that results into our alpha minus 8 alpha plus 2. You don't have to make alpha, just saying. Okay, so alpha equals to 8 or alpha equals to negative 2. Now, that's another tiny thing 我没有 mention 到的 modulus again. Okay, So let's sketch it out first. If I were to make modulus, let's focus on 3 to the power of 2x. OK, 3 to the power of 2x 本身，照理来讲应该是长成这一个样子的。可是 it's modulus of the x, so it's reflecting according to x, according to y. So that results 我们的 modulus will look something like that. Okay, it's reflecting like that. So that is our 3 to x of the modulus. But 右边这个呢？右边这个因为它是 plus 16嘛，对不对？ And it's a constant of 16, so it's definitely intersecting at 2. It will have 1 point here. It will have 1 point here. So this one is 22. We only have to approximate. This graph sketching is only for you for a guidance. It's not necessarily a point, but it's definitely a guidance. So hence, 我们就得到了 two answers. But again, think about, we have to consider the log and also exponential. This one, it says is x, 3 to the power of x equals to -2, which does not make sense because there's no such thing for the range, so reject. So we are only focusing at alpha equals to 8. So that results into 3 to the power of x equals to 8. So log of x log 3 equals to log 8, which is x equals to log of 8 over log of 3. But 因为我们这里是一个 modulus, so it's going to be the same as plus and minus. Okay, 因为 modulus is accepting both negative and positive. So hence, the final answer would result into 1.89 with the plus and minus. This is probably the hardest part for the logarithm. There's too many things to consider, but you should be able to excel further after understanding this part.